Hi everyone, it's Dom Fenton from Panathlon People, and today we have another guest. Hi Andrea, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Thank you for being here. It's taken a bit of time to get this one, but I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you this afternoon. So Andrea, tell me, how long have you been involved with Panathlon?
We started the Panathlons our first event was 2015. That was our very first event.
What was it? What was it that made you take part?
When I first started the school, I was always to believe that pupils with autism don't compete. And we were very sort of just Doucecroft. People didn't know anything about us, but I wanted to take PE a bit further out and venture out and give the children more experience. So I heard about the Panathlon and I thought it would be a good challenge.
Amazing. And I suppose back then, obviously your first event, how did that go?
Fantastic, actually, our first event. People at the school, few staff, thought I was a little bit crazy, but after the event, they realised how fantastic it was and how it was set up for children with learning disabilities and autism. Everything it was set up for everybody.
Brilliant. So, in terms of obviously back in school, what sort of impact over the years has being involved with Panathlon have on you and the students and the families and everyone else?
So, for me as a sports coach, it's opened sort of things that I know that our students can do, and I can actually push them a little bit further. And I know that they've got more resilience now, and it's really nice also because a lot of our families come to events, especially our London events, and it's so nice for them because a lot of our pupils have failed mainstream schools and special needs schools, and PE isn't their top subject. So when they see them achieving in the Panathlons and they go home with certificates, they go home with medals, we win trophies, they're absolutely so delighted and happy that their child is inclusive in an event.
Brilliant. And obviously looking, I suppose, in terms of what you now do in school, when you said about pushing them that little bit more, has it had an impact on your curriculum and sort of your offer after school and these sort of things that you potentially do for your students?
Yeah, so our curriculum, we actually do part of when our students first come into Doucecroft, we actually do Panathlon like mini events ourselves. So we'll start them off with the Panathlon events because we know they succeed in it, and putting them in big, like going to play football with them or going to play tennis with them, they're not going to be happy at doing it at first. Where the Panathlon, it can be an individual. It doesn't have to be a massive team. We can take them over one-on-one or two-on-one, and they just do it themselves, and then they feel that they've actually achieved a PE lesson as well.
Yeah, amazing. And I think that's really important that they do feel they've achieved something, even after every day they've achieved a different lesson or they've achieved to get through something.
Yeah.
In terms of children with autism, how important is it for them to be involved in sport, involved in competitions? How important do you think that is just across the board?
It's massively important for them, and their social skills, their resilience, it's to be included. And it's so nice because our students now come to your events and they see other schools and they actually say they've got friends, and people with autism like are known they don't socialize, they don't speak to other people. So it is so good that they actually, and what's so nice about it is our older students that have been through key stage 2 and moved up the system, they will come along and they will support our younger ones and tell them how fantastic it is and how it's just geared up for people with autism because it's repetitive. So it's, we know we're doing this for so long, then we're moving on to this activity. So it is fantastic, and we use it a lot with our new students at Doucecroft.
Amazing. So you were talking about the older student. Obviously, what age is in terms of the students at your school, what age are they?
So at the moment, we've got quite a lot of primary now, and we've got them nearly 5. So they're about 4 years old. They are, and they go up to 19 years old. So, and they're all totally different ability as well. It's a massive, but they're all included in the team as well.
Yeah, and I think that's something that obviously we can look at further in this podcast about being part of that team, because a lot of the time, not necessarily just at school, but outside, they may not have those opportunities, would they?
No, not at all. They wouldn't. It could be parents quite nervous about taking them to activities as well, getting to the transport, having transport to taking them. But when they see them at Panathlon events, they just think, well, their heart melts.
And that's the impact we want. So,
Yeah.
as I say, obviously, in terms of do you think there's a lot of times, or you've spoken to parents where actually the children have gone to some of the Panathlon events, they've not realised they can do it, and then we'll take them afterwards?
Oh, yeah. So it's opened. A lot of our parents now will take them to clubs. We also do superheroes, and parents, we don't really staff it now. Parents actually will take the pupils, their child there. They'll take them, they'll come as a family, which is really nice and it's really nice for us just to step back and see how nice it is as a family to do something they're all achieving together. So that's really nice. We've just had one last weekend, and that was so nice. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Panathlon, really.
Yeah. So, in terms of what do you think, in terms of the activities that we offer, obviously you try and do pretty much all of our events, don't you?
Yeah.
In terms of those, which one do you think that sticks the most?
A lot. When they've at first, the sports and like general sports one is the best one, because they know what they're expecting. So they know they're coming, and because we show them visuals, they know what's expected of them. And then once they've been through sort of like your sort of games, what they do like is a London swimming. They can't get enough of that. That is absolutely like they want more and more. And I think it's because that's also very similar. They go every year. They know they do the races. They know they do the games. So they're crying out for more swimming.
Okay.
But the younger ones, we wouldn't. They're just quite happy with the games at the moment until they gain a little bit more confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. And I think obviously the swimming, generally, it's an iconic venue.
Yeah.
As well. It just gives them that chance to get, I suppose, almost a day out for them.
Yeah.
So, and I know that we're having run some of them myself. Obviously, we love having you guys there. So, do you see things like swimming? Do you see that's impacted again in school?
Yeah. So we do swimming lessons every week for both key stages, and the children are saying they want to improve because they want to come to your events and they want to do better. And what's so good about all the events is it doesn't matter as a team their abilities. They accept each other, especially our sensory children, and it's lovely to see the older ones supporting and encouraging our sensory children. That's really nice as a school that they do that to each other, and they sort themselves out now in teams, and that's fantastic. So
and I think as well, you've touched briefly on it around that as they get older, they go into different areas. And obviously, one of those areas is leadership. And we've had a number of your young people want to be involved as a leader. How important is leadership to you for the opportunity for them to have a go?
That is absolutely brilliant. Well, from our young man Alfie, it gave him so much confidence. And so through yourselves, we're now doing sports leadership as an option when they go to their transition. So as they move up 14 to 19, they can pick sports leadership. So it just gives them so much skills to actually be able to not just speak and lead people, but we let them teach our younger students. And like when they come to you, they support younger peers or even at the same age. And when they leave us, it gives them that skill to find a job and have the confidence as well. Because if they haven't got the confidence to lead a team, and when they leave, they'll be all sort of, oh, what do we do next? But at least they've got some skills now. But it's a massive thing in Doucecroft. We love the older students helping the younger students. We absolutely encourage that, not just in PE, in quite a lot of the areas, because we think that's very important as a school.
Brilliant, brilliant. Obviously, each years go by, there's obviously a sort of recognition and awards and things. How important do you think it is for children, young people to be recognised?
Massively, absolutely massively. We get recognised by coming to work, having our wages, and it's important that because they feel worthwhile doing something. And when you give them their trophies, well, you see them, and if we don't get anywhere, they're like, whoa, like that. Then when we get them back on the bus and they say, yeah, okay, then, and they just think it's massive, like getting an award. Like, yourself, we have a massive awards assembly at the end of every big term, and they love it. They love it, and they go up, they get their certificates. If we think back, before we started review a few years back, they wouldn't have been able to do that. They wouldn't have been able to go up and collect an award. They would have been really embarrassed or not just do it, just sit in the seats. And now they proudly go up and they receive their trophies. And if the parents can't make it, they can't wait to go home, or some of them might get their phones and WhatsApp them and things like that. So it's massively important that the children get these awards, even a certificate and a medal. It just shows that we think a lot about them, and you guys also think that they're worthwhile doing it as well.
And we say a lot of time that, not about them, but actually we all want recognised. We all like to we all want to have a pat on the back and say, well done. And again, this is part of that recognition for them to say, you know what, you can achieve.
Yeah, 100%. Because if not, how do they know? How do they know that they're actually achieving and what we sort of think about them? But that medal, I mean, a lot of our students have got their medals in their bedrooms. One's got them on his curtains poles, on the end of the curtain poles. And as soon as he comes from an event, that medal goes up there. And that when they come back and the parents send us emails to say how fantastic it is, or one chap doesn't take his medal off for at least 3 days. Some, we've had a child up to 3 weeks, like just having the medal on and sleeping with it as well, because it means so much to them. They've never had this in their life, and you guys have given them the opportunity to do this.
Obviously, you've been, you guys have been a massive part over the last few years working with us. Did you ever see that when you first joined that you'd be where you are now in terms of where things have gone?
No, not at all. I just thought we'll come to an event, see how it goes, and possibly return. I did not think at all that we would be where we are now with it, and having so many trophies. And also it's led us into other things like the Jack Petchy, the Woodlands, and it's actually opened it up. Now we're involved in multi-school council through you guys. We wouldn't have known anything about that. So it's opened us up, and I never ever thought that we would have gone this far with yous.
And that's great that other things come out of it, and actually it is about everything that we can do for children and young people, but also staff, because I think a lot of the events that we run, there's always the learning for staff.
Yeah, 100%. So when I first started, as I said, a lot of the staff thought I was a bit sort of crazy, but now, like, the staff think it's amazing, and like they too can't get enough of it, and they just love it as well, because they know that all the work they've done with that child from coming, they take them to your events and they see them just compete, and their little smiles on their faces. They go up and talk to other children, other staff, and that's a massive, absolutely a massive thing for our students.
Brilliant. And that's all we can hope for. Just to finish off, if, and you briefly touched on it throughout our sort of chat this afternoon, if you're at a school who've never done it, you might be a sports coach, you might be a Senko, you might be a head teacher who's seen Panathlon or heard about Panathlon and not sure about taking part, what would you say to them and what are the big benefits?
Definitely do it. You'll see a massive improvement in the children's behaviour, social skills, and also doing the activities. Just doing the activities, because sometimes in school you might have a child that's not really very good at PE. We've got one. They don't really like PE. They don't turn up for PE lessons. They've come to a Panathlon, and every time he's asking me to come to a Panathlon. And, you know, so just because we don't do PE in school, take them along. It's just totally, it's a fantastic sort of venue. All your venues are great. All your staff are great with the children. And just give it a try, really, and you'll see a massive improvement in not just the children, the staff, and your PE lessons.
Brilliant. What a way to end. Andrea, thank you for your time. I hope that wasn't too bad.
No, that was fine.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone else, for tuning in. And we will see you again for the next edition of Panathlon People. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.